What's up, Michael Jordan collectors and investors? So Card Gems here. So on this episode, I'll be covering the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card. So we've had a lot of big sales in the last few days, including 4 of the PSA 10s. So the PSA 10s is continuing to drop in value. Well, this is because we've had so many sell in the past couple of months. So just think, each time one of these sells, that's another person that can afford it that is not bidding on the next one. So each time that it's selling, that's less and less guys bidding on these that can actually afford these cards. So it's only a matter of time that these things, that they drop a little bit, because there's plenty to go around. There's 315 of these PSA 10s. So, but anyway, we'll dig into all of those sales and everything. So this is today's March 21st Michael Jordan rookie card market report. All right, let's get into this. So starting off, we have Heritage Auctions here. So this is the PSA 10 that just sold there. This sold on the 18th of March, and it sold for $480,000. So this is, below that $500,000 mark, and well below the $600,000 mark that we had seen on the previous sales. So if we check Golden Auctions, they also had 2 PSA 10s that ended here on the 21st of March, and they both ended at $492,000, so around the same price for this pair here. So we also had one that ended on eBay for $456,000 at PWCC Auctions. So this is even lower than those other 3. So let's check out Card Ladder. So let's start with the lowest grade, PSA 1. So PSA 1 has a population of 134. For the last 3 months, it has sold 17 times, and it's averaged $3,300, and it last sold for $3,099 on the 12th of March, and the record high was $5,125 right here on the 14th of February. So if we look on eBay, let's see what we can find. So we have one here for $1,635, 26 bids. Here's one for $3,969, or best offer. Here's one for $4,450, buy it now. And here's one for $4,500 of best offer. And you have a couple more options up here. So let's look at the PSA 2. PSA 2 has a population of 178. For the past 3 months, it sold 16 times for an average of $3,745, and it last sold for $3,800 on the 12th of March, and the high was $5,307. So let's check eBay. We have one here for $3,500, one bid, 31 minutes left. Here's one for $4,499, or best offer. Here's one for almost $5,000, buy it now. Here's one for almost $5,000, or best offers, and there's a couple more options up here around $5,000 range. So PSA 3 has a pop of 344. So this sold 13 times in the last 3 months for an average of $5,049, and it last sold for $3,850 on the 14th of March, and the record high was $6,250. So checking eBay for PSA 3s. So we have a new listing here for $685, 10 bids. Here's one for $3,150, 4 bids. Here's one for $3,775, 21 bids. So this one ended already. So let's check it. Ended for $3,775, so didn't change. So here's one for $4,375, no bids. Here's one for $4,899, or best offer. And we got plenty more options on the PSA 3 up here. So PSA 4, this one has a pop of 705. So a lot more of these. This one sold 32 times in the last 3 months, averaging 5,186. And it last sold for 4,471 on the 20th of March. And the record high was 8,595 for the PSA 4. So let's check eBay for PSA 4s. Here's a new listing for 480. Here's one for 1,559, 31 bids. Here's one for 3,050, 12 bids. Here's one for 3,272, 3 bids. Here's one for basically 5,000. This no bids. 6,000 our best offer. So going back to the average, so the average was 5,186. So here we go. We got a few more up here in the $6,000 range for best offer. Buy it now. It's here at 7,000 range up here. So PSA 5, this one has a pop of 1,044. So this sold 55 times in the last 3 months for an average of 5,818, and it last sold for 5,413 on the 17th of March. And the record high was 8,600 for this card, and that was actually on the 10th of February. So PSA 5s on eBay. Let's see, here's a new listing, 760. 10 bids, so it looks like PWCC just listed a bunch of new cards. So here's a PSA 5 for $893, 11 bids. Here's one for $3,055, 26 bids. Here's $4,051, 36 bids. Here's $4,161, 21 bids. Here's $4,250, 14 bids, 20 hours left. And here's $6,199 were best offer. And here's $6,500 our best offer. New listing. Here's $7,200 our best offer. So checking back at that average, so 5,800. So there you go. So that's about the offer that you're gonna want to make on these. So PSA 6. So this one has a pop of 1,686. Sold 53 times in the last 3 months for an average of 7,125, and it last sold for 5,955 on the 19th of March. And the record high was 11,800, which was on the 3rd of February. So checking PSA 6s, we have one for 718, 8 bids, a new listing. Here's another new listing, 1,000, 4 bids. Here's another one for 1,525, 5 bids. Here's 4,100, 39 bids. Here's 6,495, 1 bid. Here's 7,000, our best offer. This is a new listing. So 7,000. So what was the average here? It was about 7,000. So, but look, it last sold for about 6,000. So there's another one for 7,000, our best offer. And we got some more options up here that are in the 8,000 range. So BGS 6 has a pop of 462. For the last 3 months, it only sold 6 times for an average of 6,721. Last sold for 6,250 on the 19th of March, so very recently. And the record high was 7,700. So we have one on eBay for 1,525, 10 bids. So BGS 6.5 has a pop of 631. It's sold only 8 times in the last 3 months for 6,635. Last sold for 5,878 on the 19th of March. And the record high for the 3 months is 8,556. So if we check eBay, we have a few here. We have 6,900 or best offer. Here's 8,995, buy it now. And here's 12,000 or best offer. And that's all we have. So BGS 7 has a pop of 975. So it sold 13 times for an average of 7,849. So it last sold for 6,700 on the 17th of March. And the record high is 12,700, and that was on the 7th of February. So if we check eBay, we have some here. We have 9,250, buy it now. There's 10,390 or best offer. There's 10,999 or best offer. So looking at what was that average again? Around 7,800. So, and we got a few more options up here for higher. So PSA 7 has a pop of 3,404. So a whole lot of these. There's been 122 sales in the last 3 months for an average of 9,703. And it last sold for 7,400. And the record high was 15,900. So it last sold on the 17th of March. So there's a lot of sales here. So let's cut it. Let's actually cut this down to the last 2 weeks and see what we got. So last 2 weeks, it's averaged 8,625. All right, so check eBay. We have a new listing, 91 bids. Not $91, 14 bids. Here's one for 102, 3 bids. Another new listing, 117, 15 bids. Here's 1,275, 6 bids. All of these have 9 days and 1 hour left from PWCC. Here's 6,345 bids. This has 10 minutes left. Here's a PSA 7 for 6,500, 37 bids. Here's one for 6,701, 14 bids. Here's 6,850, 36 bids. This has 9 minutes left. Here's one that's 7,112 bids. This has 9 minutes. Here's one for 7,000, new listing. This has no bids yet. 3 days and 16 hours left. So here's 10,450, our best offer. Here's 11,400, buy it now. Here's 11,499, our best offer. There's a few more options up here for higher. So BGS 7.5 has a pop of 1,463. 19 sales in the last 3 months for an average of 8,423. And it last sold for 8,500. So right at that average. That was on the 11th of March. And the record high was 13,000 back on like the 6th of February. So you have one here for 4,035, 5 bids. Here's 7,500, no bids on this one. This has a day and 2 hours left. So no bids for 7,500 when the average is, around 8,000, 8,500. So that's interesting. So here's 7.5. Here's 10,999, our best offer. Here's 11,800, our best offer. 12,000, our best offer. And you got more options up here. Plenty of options. So PSA 8 has a pop of 7,765. This sold 193 times in the last 3 months, averaging 15,400. It last sold for 12,900 on the 20th of March. And the record high was 26,100, which is back here on the 5th of February. So about 13,000 to 15,000 on this card. So here's a new listing, 2,550, 5 bids. 4,051, 12 bids. Here's 4,051, 15 bids. Here's 4,050, 9 bids. Here's 4,873, 10 bids. Here's 5,000, 16 bids. Here's 5,007 bids. 5,100, 16 bids. A lot of new listings for the 8. Here's 5,500, 1 bid. Here's 8,900, 17 bids. Here's 9,100, 30 bids. So here's 10,000, 1 bid. Here's 10,100, 22 bids. Here's 10,099, 22 bids. Here's 10,100, 55 bids. Here's 10,188, 18 bids. Here's 10,200, 32 bids. Here's 10,600, 35 bids, 1 hour left. Here's 13,500, buy it now. Here's 14,900, our best offer. Here's one right at the same price, our best offer. And it just gets higher from there. So you got a lot of options for this PSA 8. Look around and pick out the best one. So BGS 8 has a pop of 2,059. For the last 3 months, it's sold 47 times for an average of 10,800. It last sold for 9,999 on the 20th of March. And the record high was 17,800, which looks like it's back here in February on the 7th. So you're looking at about 10,000 on this card. So here we go, 4,050, 14 bids. 7,777, 38 bids, 4 days, 21 hours left. Here's 9,999, 1 bid, so right at that average. Here's 12,255, buy it now. Here's 12,500 or best offer. And you got a bunch in that price range for best offer, buy it nows. So SGC 8. So in the last 3 months, it sold 10 times for an average of 12,000. It last sold for 10,000 on the 18th of March. And the record high was 19,000 back here on the 5th of February. So 10 to 12,000 range on that one based on the I appeal. So let's see what we got. We have one here for 16,999 or best offer. So that's well above the average. Here's 25,000. That's almost double the average. And this one's almost double the average as well, 24,000, our best offer. So SGC 85. So these have a pop between 3 and 400. This sold 8 times in the last 3 months, averaging 15,065. Last sold for 15,000 on the 15th of March. And the record high was 20,000 on this. So about 15,000 on this, but we have none listed on eBay right now. So we'll go on over to the BGS 8.5. Has a pop of 2,556. For the last 3 months, it sold 55 times for an average of 13,500. And it last sold for 11,000 on the 13th of March. The record high was 23,100 back here on the 4th of February. So we're looking at a card between 13,000 and 11,000, depending on the subs. So here's 1,025, 7 bids. Here's 1,050, 5 bids. Here's 2,445, 9 bids. These all have 9 days on them. Here's 16,000, our best offer. So where's 16,000 on here? So 13 and 11. So that's well above the average. So, and we have another one here in that price range, no bids. Here's another one, our best offer around the same price. So you got plenty around in that price range there. Some in 17,000 range. Buy now best offers, but we're looking for 11 to 13,000 on those. So here's a PSA 8.5 with the pop of 391. This card's had some kind of ride right here. So 17 sales in the last 3 months, averaging 25,067. This card reached as high as 43,000 at one point. And that was back here on the 2nd of February. So it last sold for 17,000 on the 19th of March. So this thing can range anywhere from 25 to 17. But here lately, let's see, if we cut it down the last couple of weeks, so for 6 sales, it's been averaging about 17,000 for 6 sales. So might be looking at something closer to about 17,000 on this one. So here's one for 8,600, 13 bids. And here's 24,500, or best offer, and 25,000 buy it now. So these are well above the average. Even if you go out to the 3-month average, this is still a little high. It'd be top of the market. Here's 63,000, our best offer. Then it just gets crazy from there. So SGC 9. So this had a pop of 216 last I looked. So this has had 8 sales for the past 3 months for an average of 32,240, and it last sold for 32,000 on the 19th of March, and the high was 57,000 on this one back here in February, 3rd of February. But the 32,000 looks like it might be a decent, if you look at these last 4 or 5 sales, that's about what they've been averaging. So if we look on eBay, here we got one for 35,995. So just a little bit above that average of 32,000. Here's 47,500, or best offer. Here's about 50,000, or best offer, but it says top 30% eye appeal on it, and 100,000, or best offer. So that's a little crazy. So here is the PSA 9. So this has a pop of 2,771. So this sold 69 times for an average of 51,980. But it last sold for 42,050 on the 20th of March. The record high was almost 90,000 at one point on the 8th of February. So a lot of sales here. So let's see, past couple of weeks. So that's 12 sales. So that's a decent sample size. And these are averaging out at 44,000. So 42,000, 44,000 for the PSA 9s. We'll say 45,000 top of the market. Here's 850, 8 bids. Here's 1,075, 71 bids. Here's 2,550, 19 bids. 7,600, 21 bids. These all have 9 days left on them on these PWCCs. Here's 7,800, 12 bids, a new listing. Here's 8,254, 11 bids. Here's 8,900, 17 bids. Top 15 eye appeal. And this one had a top 30% eye appeal. So looks like PWCC is unloading a lot of these 9s. So here's 16,099, 15 bids, 9 days left. Here's 30,000, 114 bids. This ended already, so let's check it out. Let's see what it ended for. Whoa, 37,000 is what it ended for. That's the lowest I've seen it sell in a very long time. That's interesting. Here's another one that ended, 30,100. Let's see what it ended for. 40,200. So that's a little bit better. All right, so here's 41,999, 0 bids. There's 44,000, buy it now. There's 48,500 or best offer. There's 48,800 or best offer. And you've got plenty more options up here. Some in the 40 range. It's getting up into the 50s. So a lot of options on this card. So this card is becoming more affordable now. So some of you collectors are probably happy about that. You could finally pick you up a mint copy of this card. So BGS 9 has a pop of 1,649, 47 bids in the last 3 months, averaging 31,500, and it lasts up for 24,000 on the 20th of March. The record high was 56,000. So that was on the 6th of February or the 7th of February, but it also sold right here for 55,000 just recently on the 5th of March. So it could have been a fluke sell, I don't know. So if we cut it down to, let's cut it down to a couple of weeks here. 2 weeks, we got 8 sales averaging 22,900. So, but it lasts up for 24. So we're looking at around 25,000 top of the market probably on this card. All right, so yeah, these cards are definitely becoming more affordable for you Michael Jordan collectors. For you investors, you know, I feel bad for you guys depending on what entry point you got in on these guys, but they're nice to hold on to. I mean, they will definitely spike again. They spike every year, so if you're really trying to sell it, you know, just wait for the next spike. So that's all I can pretty much tell you. I mean, there's not, you know, Michael Jordan is always going to be a safe investment, always. So we have this one here, 1,125, 9 bids. Here's 1,580, 18 bids. Here's 30,000, no bids. 36,000 or best offer. So here's 35,950 or best offer. Looks like you got plenty of options here. So I would just run through these and just find the one with the very best subs on them and lock it down and put it away. In the $20,000 range, that's a steal in my opinion for a BGS 9. Those cards have always been undervalued, but now they're just ridiculous how undervalued they are compared to a PSA 9. There shouldn't be much of a difference. I mean, you can crack almost any BGS 9 and make it a PSA 9, so why aren't they similar in price, you know? Makes no sense to me. So here's a SGC 9.5. This has a pop of 25. So this one has had 6 sales in the last 3 months, so not very many, averaging 68,480. And it last sold for 55,000 on the 15th of March. Now I looked at that one that sold for 55,000. It had a lot of bleeding on the backside, so the eye appeal wasn't the greatest. Because before that, this card had sold for 79,000, and it went from 81,000 to 79,000. So I definitely think it's worth more than this 55. The record high was 125. That was crazy. That was during the middle of the hype on the 31st of January. You know, it was like one day after that golden auction sales of 700,000 for the 10. So, but yeah, this sale right here, I looked at this card. It didn't have the greatest eye appeal, so that might have affected the price, honestly. So we have none on eBay. So let's go straight to the BGS 9.5. Has a pop of 526. So we have a new sell, 91,000. This was a low end. This had 1.9 subgrade. So the thing with these BGS 9.5s, you know, we have 15 sales here for average of 87,000, and the high was 162,000. This was a high-end card. This had a 110 sub, and the rest were 9.5s. But this 9.5 is kind of, if you look here, it's kind of holding its value, and it's just because it's not the card that the, like the 1%ers are gonna buy. They want the PSA 10. I think the BGS 9.5 is more like the collector card. It's like a card that a collector that has been collecting for a while and he has equity built up in his collection. That's a card that he could probably attain if he moves some stuff around. I always thought of this card as like the collector card. Now the reason it sells so high, because you got the high ends and you got the low ends, but all of these sells in here, this 79, 95, 96, 82, 91, these are all the low ends. These all had 9 subs on them, 1 sub. So it's surprising, the card hasn't dropped off like the other grades. So I mean, like I said, I think it's the collector card. But I don't know. Tell me what your opinion is. You can comment down below what you think about the BGS 9.5. So if we look on eBay, we have one here for $99,000. This has a 9 on the surface. Here's one with a 9 on the corners for $139,000, our best offer. This one has a 9 on the centering, $149,000, our best offer. This one has a 9 on the centering, $169,000, our best offer. There's $175,000, our best offer, has a 9 on the surface. So here's $200,000, our best offer. This has a 9 on the corners. This is a quad 9.5, $200,000, buy it now. This one has a 9 on the surface, $250,000, our best offer. And here we have a pair. This one has a 9 on the surface. This is a sticker. The highest price for the sticker when I last saw it sell was $69,000. So you get both of these for $399,000, our best offer. So here we have a pair. This is a 9 on the edges and a 9 on the corners. $542,000, our best offer on those. So PSA 10. So this has a pop of 315. It's sold 12 times in the last 3 months for an average of 4,888. It last sold for 456,000. And the record high was 720,000 for a pair of PSA 10s that sold on the 30th of January. Golden auctions. So it last sold for 456,000. That just happened on the 19th. That was eBay. And then we had the 480,000 for a pair that sold on golden auctions. Well, actually, no, the golden auction sale is not here yet. Those were actually 492,000. This 480 was that was the Heritage Auctions one. Remember, right here, 480,000 for Heritage Auctions. That 456 one is this PSA 10 right here on PWCC. These 2 golden auction ones for 492 have not been confirmed yet, so that's why we're not seeing those ones. So if we check eBay, so we have one here for $1 million, our best offer. It comes with a sticker, and so you get the pair. Here's one for $999,000, our best offer, and here's one for $1 million, our best offer. So we got 3 total. All right, let's check the recently ended on eBay. All right, so we have the PSA 7 here, 8,500. Buy it now. Here's a BGS 8 for $10,000. It had 1 bid. Here's a PSA 7, sold for $8,155, 42 bids. Here is a PSA 5, sold for $5,700, 2 bids. Here's a PSA 9 with the off-center qualifier, $11,000, 37 bids. Here's a SGC 7, $6,300, 32 bids. Here is that's a raw card, and it's great. It's got an autograph on it and it has a certificate of authenticity from Upper Deck Authentic. So this is one of those flight school ones. 21,332 on that. I don't understand why someone wouldn't put this in a holder. So here's a PSA 8 listed for 14,000. Let's see what it went for. So if we look in all this code right here, you see this 13,500 right here. That's what it sold for. See listing price 14,000, and then tax exclusive price 13,500. So I'm sorry about all this code. I know it looks ugly, but it's the only way I can get these grades by searching through the source page. So here's a BGS 8 for $12,999. Buy it now. Here's a PSA 9 with the off-center qualifier, 11,933 bids. So these are averaging about 11,000 now. Here's a PSA 8, sold for 16,500. Buy it now. Here's a BGS 8.5, 11,323, 66 bids. Here's a BGS 7 for 7,000, 1 bid. Here's a PSA 4 for 4,096, 47 bids. Here's a PSA 9, 35,100. I looked at this PSA 9. It's not actually a PSA 9. This is a BGS 9. So that's what I get for reading the title and not looking at the picture. But that's a pretty good, man, that's a pretty good price for that BGS 9. That's well above the average right now. So that seller did okay. The buyer paid a premium on that one. But it looks like it had high subs on it. That's probably why. So SGC 4, 4,000, 1 bid. So here's a PSA 8, 12,131 bids. There's another PSA 8, 11,323, 35 bids. Here's a BGS 8.5, 12,747 bids. Here's an authentic SGC listed for 8,499. And this one went for 7,200 on that one. 7,200 for the that's great for an authentic. You know, some of these authentic ones, they're just like, they're like pristine looking. A lot of them came from like GAI and stuff that were like GAI 9.5s and 10s. I know I used to have a 9.5 GAI that I thought looked perfect, but I tried to send it in the PSA and BGS and they wouldn't slab it because they said it was trimmed even though it was full size. Some of those that look perfect, they actually came from uncut sheets they're cut perfectly and they're perfectly sized, but the graders can tell how it's cut, what the cuts look like, the cut pattern. They can tell if it's from an uncut sheet or it's from the factory. So if they think it's from an uncut sheet, they're not going to slab it. So that's how a lot of these perfect cards ended up being in authentic holders. So you have a card that looks like a 9, you know, and it's authentic. That'd be a great card to have, I think, honestly. BGS 8.5. No, see, I'm reading the title again. BGS 5.5, 4,351, 33 bids. Here's a BGS 9.5. So this one has a 9 on the edges. So this is a low-end BGS 9.5, listed for 120,000. And this is the one that was confirmed on Card Ladder for 91,000. See, here it is, 91,000 for this card. So these BGS, I mean, look at the PSA 9. In some cases, it's dropped almost 50%, and these 9.5s are kind of holding their value. Like I said, it's like the highest end collector card for, you know, how many millionaires are people that can afford PSA 10s? How many of those guys are out there versus how many of the regular collectors that have been here, you know, that have been here for years? Those are the guys that are going to try to buy these 9.5s because they just want a gem mint. They just want a gem mint card. And if the PSA 10 is $500,000, they're not even going to care about that card. But this card, this is the card that the collector is going to try and get, going to try to move some stuff around, you know, and get that card. Well, that's just what I believe. SGC 8. So this is listed for $13,995. SGC 8 sold for $10,000. So $10,000 for that 8. So here's the BGS 9. I hate these people that are listing the way they're listing these. So BGS 9, 25,000, 23 bids. Here's another authentic. It's listed for 4,250. So this one sold for 3,500. But you know, these authentic ones, these are definitely not created equally. You know, this could have all kinds of stuff going on it. Some of them could look perfect and some of them could have like some issues, you know. So here's a BGS 8 for 8,300. Buy it now. Here's a BGS 3.5 for 3,555, 53 bids. Here's a BGS 9 for 29,455 bids. Here's another 9 for 21,001 bid. Big difference in here. It's all about them subs though, and where the subs are. So here's a BGS 7, 6,823, 37 bids. Here's a PSA 4, 4,051, 30 bids. Here's a BGS 4.5, 3,531, 27 bids. Here's an authentic altered card, PSA 5,050, 41 bids on this one. Here's a BGS 9, 26,107, 8 bids. So here is this is a PSA 7. It's listed for 9,800. So can anybody guess what this went for? This is 7. I'm going to guess that it went for 7,000. So 1,000 a grade. Nope, 8,300. I was wrong. 8,300. All right, so BGS 8, 8,500, 34 bids. Here's a PSA 5, 5,101, 29 bids. So that's almost 1,000 a grade. Here's a PSA 5 for 4,827, 19 bids. Here's a PSA 7 for 9,021, 26 bids. Here's a PSA 8 with a miscut qualifier for 6,966 bids. So miscut, a lot different from OC. Miscut is actually like when it's like super off like this. So we got a PSA 4 for 4,550, 37 bids. This had top 15 eye appeal, so was considered a premium card, but looks like it's sold about the same as any other PSA 4. Here's a PSA 5 for 6,031 bids. This had top 5 eye appeal. So this sold a little bit higher than normal because these normally sell around 5,000. So here's a BGS 6 sold for 6,250, 45 bids. Here's a PSA 6 with an off-center qualifier, 4,800, 20 bids. So the rule of thumb is if it has a qualifier, if it was just a number grade, it would be 2 less. So instead of a PSA 6 OC, it would be a PSA 4. So that's what you're getting here. So that's what the price would reflect. Here's a PSA 6 for 6,056, 22 bids. Here's a BGS 6.5 for 5,878, 32 bids. There's a PSA 7 for 8,048 bids. Here's a PSA 7 for 7,000. So here's one that's 1,000 a grade. So these really fluctuate. It just depends on the eye appeal. See, this one is really OC right here, off-centered. So that, that has a lot to do with the price outcome. Here's a PSA 7 for 7,200, 48 bids. This one looks a little bit nicer as far as the centering goes. So here's the BGS 8 for 9,325, 48 bids. Here's a PSA 8 for 12,332, 33 bids. So here's a PSA 8 for 12,323. So that was 23, not 32. 31 bids. So these are pretty much identical here. So here's another PSA 8 for 12,138 bids. Here's a PSA 8 for 10,532 bids. So this one's a little bit more off-centered. So that's why the price was so different. Here's a BGS 8.5 for 10,823, 47 bids. Here's another 8.5 for a similar price, 37 bids. Here's a 8.5. This one's a little bit higher, 11,350, 55 bids. There's a PSA 8.5, 17,000, 33 bids. Here's a SGC 9 for 32,850, 51 bids. It's top 15% eye appeal. So here's a BGS 9 for 23,100, 24 bids. Here's another BGS 9 for 20,400, 33 bids. Here's a PSA 9 with the off-center qualifier, 10,612, 50 bids. Here's a PSA 9 for 45,900, 114 bids. That's a lot of bids. So here's a PSA 9 for 41,211, 65 bids. Here's a PSA 9 for 40,000, 55 bids. Here's a PSA 9 for 38,687, 83 bids. Look at the centering on this one. That's why it went so low. Centering's pretty off right there. There's a PSA 9, 44,099, top 30 eye appeal on this one. Here's a PSA 9 for 42,501, 74 bids. This had top 30% eye appeal. Here's a PSA 9. These, God, I know you guys that see my videos every day, man, it seems like we have one of these every time. These PSA 9s for around 7,000 to 8,000. It's just scam artists. I can't believe these things keep selling. It's just ridiculous. You know, what he's doing, you know, someone's buying this because they're not, you know, they're kind of new or whatever. They're just buying this and they're paying for it through PayPal, and this guy's getting the money and he's using the money. It's like a quick loan. And then then he calls PayPal and then they refund him his money because he never gets the card. So the guy just gets like a quick loan. I don't know how the guy hasn't been banned or blocked or shut down. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. There's a PSA 8 listed for 14,995, our best offer. So this one's sold for 12,500 for that. 12,500. All right. So that is my update for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And if you have any comments or opinions or, you know, something you want to add, you know, just feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Whatever you want to, you know, whatever questions you might have, I'll answer. I try to answer every single question that you guys give me. You guys that have been watching me a while, you know I answer every single question as long as I can. I will answer those questions. So, but if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I will see you in the next Michael Jordan Market Report.